Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this damn game up, shall we? Ooh, okay. Enemies of Rome.
Hannibal of Carthage. Your plan to invade Italy by crossing the Alps is cunning, brilliant, and fraught with risk. The mountain passes are inhabited by fearsome Celtic tribes, and Roman garrisons defend the foothills beneath the mountains. If your daring gamble is successful, however, all of Italy will lie before you. Do the unthinkable, Hannibal. Cross the mountains with your elephants, and you will be remembered as the greatest leader in history.
Uh-huh. Okay. Time to cross the Alps. Oh. Okay.
Perfect actors.
Well, this should be fun. Okay. Wait a second to let the elephants catch up a bit here. If they could stop being caught on their own people for 5 seconds. Come on. Come on. I do like how we only have to bring 2 armored elephants there. We start with 6, by the way. Oh, that's a good question, Loader. I would imagine so, because, you know, everything is friendly fire, but I don't actually know. I usually don't field elephants, because only a few factions even get access to them, and they are very late game and ludicrously expensive. Keep moving. Just keep moving. Don't get baited. Get traffic jammed either. Oh my god. And of course they have a second catapult. Of course they do. What are you doing? They're just stuck. They're just stuck. They refuse to move. Okay, maybe. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna leave them stuck there. You live here now. At least until that tower low modes its way through you. What is it? The grotesque spectacle coughed up from Xerxes' empire. It's just an elephant. He's just stuck. That's just his life. Okay, whatever. We aim to please, apparently, played Jabal. By the way, I love how the faction they've chosen for the oh god, what are they called? The group of tribesmen who lived in the Alps is the Chosen. You know, from East Asia. Hi, Andrew. I love how Yellow's already harassing me. I don't even have a base. They're still like, we've got to harass! We've got to harass! It's the only thing we know to do. Oh, I totally would take that power. 100%. I'd never let anybody know I have it, of course. So I'd occasionally make a prediction that's deliberately wrong, just so I could throw people off the trail. I mean, Admiral Yi was legit. But I will also admit to my somewhat embarrassment that he's also the only Korean military campaign I've ever read anything about. They really are. They're already harassing me. Just trying to nibble me to death. I love how the Romans have already got their phalanxes up in the Alps. Come here, please. Come here. Come here. Come on. You stop harassing me for 5 seconds, please. I swear that's the name of the Age of Harassment. It's not even by Blizzard. Yeah, I'm actually going to not add any extra time to it. For the same reason, the ultimate thing that made me decide that was we didn't add time for fast forwarding and Trails of either. I know that's not the same situation. I'm not trying to say it is. But ultimately, Savicom is correct. The formula does kind of self-correct for stuff like that. Hello, Czar. I should say formulas. Yeah, it won't make a difference, really, either way. The only thing it would really make any big differences is for, like, putting on the website how long the game really is. Because there's a reason I estimated this run to 55 hours originally. And that's because I wasn't anticipating so many bog standard maps. It's not even your typical kill-all, which almost makes it worse. Like, I showed it off yesterday, for those of you who don't remember. The typical map format of this game is you start off with a relatively little base, you know, some initial teching, some initial resources. What?
Your failure in the Alps has doomed Carthage. Only a successful invasion of Italy would have slowed the Roman advance. Now, Roman legions march into Hispania, and it will only be a matter of time before they reach Carthage itself. You were a fool to think elephants could cross the Alps, and your punishment is to be slowly crushed to death under the feet of one of your pachyderms.
Anyways, what I was trying to say was that the default map mission, it's extremely formulaic, and I've seen probably about a dozen missions that use it. You start off with a small little force, and it is a small little force. There's 2 harasser bases nearby. Both harasser bases always have the same template in terms of how they're designed. One of them, they have production buildings and some resources, but no real defenses to speak of, right? Then there's the main base. The main base always has your goal, and because of how the game is designed, even if it's not a kill-all, it's a kill-all. You pretty much need to sweep that base in order to be able to accomplish your objective, whatever that objective is. So you've got 2 harasser bases whose job it is to slow you down and irritate you as you're building up. You then have to knock them off so you can, free up your defensive forces. Then you slow mode your way through the enemy base, the actual tanky base. And that's it. That's the format. It is a giant waste of time 3 separate times. That format might have worked in a game that is frankly better in terms of things like population cap, or time to kill, or resource distribution, or controls, or AI, or anything. But in this game, all that turns into is a slog. I hate to overuse that word, but I don't have a better word for it. It's a slog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just push through, push through. Ignore the catapult towers. And the catapults. Speaking of which, I did add a few additional negatives for... I almost call it like a lowercase p problem, which is the population cap. I'm sure Tequetta will be happy to hear. I actually sat down and did some hard math on it last night, and it boiled down to, generally speaking, you have an actual population cap of 27. So that's your unit cap, 27. Now in this game, units all take up 1 pop, so that is 27 units of any kind, shape, or form. And that's it. That's your army. That's your entire army. That already sounds pretty bad, I'm sure, but it actually gets worse when you think about it for a second. Because, oh my god, please stop running. Please stop running. You're really making this irritating. Thank you. Because so many maps, like you essentially have to have all your forces in one thing, because 27 is barely enough for a reasonable size force in this game. Especially given most units don't live very long. Like I said, time to kill. So if you want your forces to do anything, you need all 27 all in one group and all doing everything at the same time. Especially because there's no, as Tequetta pointed out earlier, no real source of repair or healing that doesn't involve also taking up another population and a guy that, frankly, kind of sucks at his job. Like, I'm sorry, the priest is not a good unit in this game. In the original, he was overpowered as hell, but now he's mostly just a healer, and he sucks at that. See, I was going to say, the easy answer is get rid of the conversion. Just make him a full-on healer. There you go. Boom. Done. Fixed. But no, if we have to keep the conversion mechanic... It's actually a tough one. conversion by itself is pretty OP, especially in a game with this low of a population cap. See Homeworld 1 for another example of a game where the converter unit is overpowered because of a low population cap. Like, it is a common strategy to try and capture as many ships as you can in Homeworld and carry them to the next mission so that you have a larger fleet. Yeah, I was just saying, you remember the Sphere of Ion frigates mission? I have a friend of mine who got every single one of those once. All of them. I've never bothered. I've never gone that far. But... 108. Wow. That feels deliberate, actually. So how do we limit it? While still making it useful, without screwing over the missions that rely on priests. Because that's kind of the other part, too, right? Oh, I always go for the Kadeshi. The multi-beam frigate is just too good. Are you seriously going to give me workers? Why would I want workers? Well, Brown is harassing me. As is his... So I can think of several ways to nerf them. That's not really the issue, as funny as that probably sounds. The issue is nerfing them in a way that still makes them useful. Because frankly, what happened in this very game was them nerfing him. And we see the problem. He's next to useless. Save for no reason. Traffic jam, hi Act. Sorry about the noise. I don't remember which game it's in. But there's an RTS game where there is a mind control unit and there's a beam. You could physically see a beam between it and the mind control. And that's the limiter. You can mind control one unit at a time per priest. Or per whatever. Was it Red Alert 2? Because that's my first thought. That might be Yuri's Revenge, yeah. So, you know, a priest can mind control someone instantly and perfectly, but they only get one. So, you want another unit, you get another priest. That also solves the population bypass issue, too, if you're thinking about it. Because at that point, you're not bypassing your population. It costs you one population in order to... Jesus Christ, that really hurt Hannibal. In order to grab an enemy, right? It costs you the priest.
Your failure in the Alp.
I don't like this mission. Like, I want you to see this. Do you see Hannibal here? This is how much health he has. He died just on the charge down here. That's it. Between the catapult and the towers beelining him, they were able to kill him before I was able to do anything. So I'm going to do something weird here. We're going to send everyone but Hannibal down there. Yeah, don't you love it when a hero dies and you fail the map? Aren't those maps awesome? It's almost like there's a reason why games like Warcraft 3 and Age of Mythology realized how dumb of a mission design that was and stopped doing it. Because the problem here is in Reality Land, because this is true, this is a long-standing thing. In Reality Land, the rule has always been that if you have a hero who, if they die, the mission fails, the best strategy is always to go ahead and have that hero just hang back and just not use them. Because at that point, it's just an escort quest, really. And yeah, they can be base defenders or whatever. I say, Dawn of War 1 fixed this, Warcraft 3 fixed this, Age of Mythology fixed this. And it's funny, because the fix was astonishingly easy. Make it so that their death does not instantly fail the campaign. Just give you a method to recover from it. These frickin' towers. Get out of there. Yeah, I remember a particularly good StarCraft 1 player once commenting that the only good hero in StarCraft 1 was Zeratul. He's cloaked and he hits like a truck. Yeah, I actually remember distinctly. I don't remember the mission. What?
Your failure in the Alps has doomed Carthage. Only a successful invasion of Italy would have slowed the Roman advance. Now, Roman...
So I also need my 2 armored elephants to live. I'm right there, too. This is where I was. The finish line is like... oh my god, no, it's even worse than that. I was right here. The finish line is right here. I was there. I was at the finish line. This is the finish line. God, this freaking game. Traffic jam. Traffic jam. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send the archers in front. The guys who don't need to live. It's really irritating. You know, that's actually a good point. There are a couple of missions where your hero could die and it costs you the mission in Warcraft 3. But it's also never been an issue in any of those missions, so I'm just going to say they just figured out how to make better mission design and leave it at that. Like, this doesn't happen in Frozen Throne, you know? To use a very, very specific example. Oh my god, these frickin' towers are just the worst. get traffic jammed. Don't get traffic jammed. Come on, go. Go. Go, 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 go. I love how much faster Hannibal is. And by love, I mean hate. It's really irritating. There, you stupid game.
Your crossing of the Alps was a masterstroke in the annals of history. All of Carthage applauds you and your army. With Italy before you, Rome will feel your vengeance.
Yep, cool. Now I gotta review that stupid level.
King Perseus of Macedon, your spies in Rome have brought word that your rival, the King of Pergamon, traveled from his lands in western Anatolia to give a speech to the Roman Senate. In it, he slandered and defamed your highness, and urged the Roman senators to declare war on your kingdom. Now, Roman legions have landed in Thessaly and have been well received by treacherous Greek cities such as Larissa. You must not allow the Romans time to become comfortable in Greek lands. Defeat the Romans and lay claim to the Greek cities rightly belonging to you as the heir to the Antigonid dynasty. King Perseus of Macedon, your spies in Rome have brought word that your rival, the King of Pergamon, traveled from...
Shut up.
Abadakis. Abadakis.
Let me guess. Hey, look, there's a harasser base. There's another harasser base. And there's a giant base we have to slog through. Seriously, for those of you who didn't listen yesterday, this is the bog standard mission template. You start off with a little bit, usually a couple of workers and a couple of houses, so that you can start. There's a harasser very close by. The harasser's always got the same thing. He doesn't have much in the way of defenses. What he does have is production units ready to go, because they know at this point they have understood how their own AI works, and they know their AI is going to constantly produce units as long as they have the buildings to produce them from. There's another harasser base nearby. Oops. There's another harasser base nearby. Hey, look! Same format. And then there's the slog base, which is designed to take entirely too long to get through. With irritating navigation, lots of walls, lots of towers behind walls, and way too much stuff to chew through. And lots and lots and lots of production facilities so they can constantly spam units even as you're pushing into their base. So...
Your great victory over Rome and her allies has brought renewed glory to Macedon. The Romans fear you, and now know not to be so easily drawn to war through the lies of jealous men. Soon you will have your revenge on the King of Pergamon.
Hang on. I forgot to get the fail mission. Oh, we failed!
Despite some early successes against the weak Roman interlopers, you have failed to defeat them. Your dreams of ruling Greece and Anatolia have been foiled by your incompetence. The Romans are sending more aid to their Greek allies and the Kingdom of Pergamon. You had better start learning Latin. Here is your first lesson. Quae ego sum, hoc ludum est difficila.
Okay, hang on. I gotta know what that means. I am a child. This game is difficult. Thanks, game. Also, I disagree with that. This game is not difficult. I was talking about that to a friend of mine last night. One of the biggest problems with this game is that, for the most part, it is not difficult. If it was, I might actually be having some fun. It's boring. Like I said, it's the main problem is the slog factor. And tedious, that's another great word. Bladesville actually asked a good question, but let me finish typing up my thoughts super quick here. Just give me a sec. So, Blake Duvall asked, how would I improve map design given the limitations of the AI mechanism of the system? I've already seen maps that do exactly that, and they all do the same basic thing. All of them aren't build and then destroy enemy base missions. Or if they are, there's something they do with the terrain to kind of bypass most of the usual issues. Let me use just a random example. Let's say that they've got an island hopping mission. So the main enemy base is over here, pretty well defended, sure, but they don't have an initial dock set up. Instead, there's a whole bunch of other bases, much smaller ones, that do have some dock setups. And when I say base, I mean like outposts. It's not even a full base. Each of those is sitting on some resources. You get a fleet, you go knocking out islands, you sweep that, and then you land your enemy, your assaulting force, and take out the enemy base. Probably getting a foothold and probably getting some production facilities on the base. There you go. Boom, done. You'll notice that the main thing, the major difference there, is by putting water in between us and the enemy bases, we have naturally limited the amount of harassment that they can and will do to us constantly. I've actually noticed several maps do exactly that. And by using water, and by using terrain limiters, it makes it so that it's a lot less frustrating to deal with the constant waves of aggravation.
From Thracian mercenary to Roman soldier to gladiator slave, you have known much bloodshed, Spartacus, but precious little freedom. You and your fellow gladiators made a daring escape from your bonds and defied the Roman authorities. Your success inspired other slaves to throw off their yokes and join your slave army. While the Romans call themselves free citizens, slavery is everywhere in the Republic, and you have found no shortage of willing followers. Now, in a fit of irony, the Roman Senate sends Rome's wealthiest man, Marcus Crassus, to defeat your slave revolt. He is ruthless and will give no quarter to the freed slaves under your command. Defeat Crassus and inspire more of your brothers and sisters to fight for their freedom.
Okay, that sounds like fun. What's our goal here? Destroy the enemy army. Okay. But we failed!
While your men are unwilling to identify you to Crassus, it is no bother to the Roman consul. He simply orders all 6,000 of you to be crucified.
I guess we really were Spartacus.
Allemaal zou gaan ta. Zou gaan ta. Ibortare. Ibortare.
Listen, Lunarith, it's being if it's in the worker pit or in the front lines. Take your pick.
Samus.
Yeah, you could say that ending was riveting. Sorry.
Zelkanta. 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 Zelkanta.
That enemy got the point. So, there's our goal. Knock over red. I'm feeling cavalry. Well, I was going to say, making them non-harasser bases would probably help too. The main thing I've noticed that makes them a harasser base is they start off with production units, or that is to say production facilities. Quite a few of them. So they can just jump right into it, right? Listen, Mr. Red knows that I'm knocking him over constantly. It's all I do. Can't stop myself.
Samus.
Look, it could be worse. I could be knocking him up instead.
Ibrikado.
Yeah, exactly, Blade Duval.
Alama. Samus. Alamas.
Good morning off the deeper end. See, that's 32. 6, 40, 44, 48, 50. There.
Samus.
We can. Yeah, the unrelenting nature of the harassment, I call it harassment for a reason, is at least part of the problem. It's a lot of freed slaves. Look at all that. Of course, it's all like villages and houses and farms. Because of course it is. What else are slaves going to do? They're slaves!
Samus.
They're barely even people.
Samus. 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 Tarai. Tarai. Alamas. Lare. Bombis.
I mean, legally they aren't people, so I guess that counts for something.
Problema. Bombis.
And the music quit. Oh, of course the music quit.
Yuri. Bombis. Problema. Lare. Samus. Lare. Bombis. Problema. Bombis. Tarai. Alamas. Tarai. Alamas. Alamas. Samus. Alamas. Bombis. Lare.
Yeah, again, doing stuff with the terrain or doing stuff with the enemy base composition to ease up the waves of ugh. Both seem like relatively easy fixes to the harassment problem.
Alamas.
But I wouldn't expect, you know, a big large-scale gaming company to be anti-harassment. That's asking too much. I mean, yeah, actually, Krakatsan. I could 100% do that. The car squad is always on standby. See what I mean, by the way? In this exact mission, I have a food cap of 25. Because of how this works. So that's my limiter. I get 25 troops. Like I said earlier, splitting up worker population into like an actual separate population thing, just having a worker cap, which would be the same basic result, would go a long way towards fixing that issue. So I thought about the workers not counting towards cap thing. The problem with that is that could snowball pretty hard in a game like this. Although, speaking of which, thank you for reminding me. Hang on. I'm going to fire up Warcraft 2 really quick. Don't worry, this really will not take long. I just wanted to see something. I had a thought last night about exactly that point. Yes, I know it's Warcraft 1. Hang on, just bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, sure, whatever. Nobody cares. Okay, so this is interesting. So in Warcraft 1, because I can tell immediately, we do not have the ability to make a second town hall. Let's switch over to Warcraft 2.
The Horde is prepared.
But we do in Warcraft 2. That's what I thought. So you're probably thinking, what's the significance of that? So in several games, several RTSs, a completely valid strategy is to set up multiple town centers quickly to increase your villager production, your work production immediately. Even if you end up knocking over the other town centers later, you want to get as many of those going as fast as you can, right? You really want your work, you want your economy to snowball as fast as possible so it's there and running so you can start focusing on everything else, right? You can't make a second town hall in most maps. Now, I notice I actually can here. But the way the game is normally designed is you have to wait until you get a certain level in the tech tree to be able to make a second town hall. I'm actually amused that this exact mission, where I was going to show that off, allows me to make a second tech hall. Or just because, I think it's the government center specifically that allows it. Anyways. I was just thinking about that randomly because it's another thing that kind of slows down the early stages as you are just sitting there waiting for villagers to be produced.
Umbis. Umbis. Alama. Summit. Umbis.
Yeah, Command & Conquer is such a different animal, I wasn't even going to mention that. I also don't have it installed right now.
Alama. Summit.
Dragon's Dogma had classes?
Alama.
I'm sorry, that sounds like a joke, but I don't remember there being classes in Dragon's Dogma.
Alama.
Okay, this is entirely too hopeful and uplifting of a song for this game. That's an interesting direction to take that. So, in Command & Conquer 1, additional construction yards, to my knowledge, does nothing. And additional construction facilities makes it so that you produce troops faster from whatever the most recent facility is. Which you have to line up correctly, because if you don't, then you're going to produce troops out of the wrong thing. But the idea is there is, you know, you make tons of factories. You make the last factory right at the exit of the gate, and then you just start churning out tanks, right? It was actually possible in the original Command & Conquer 1, I don't know if this is true in the remaster, to produce tanks so quickly that they would vanish. I think is the word I want to use for that. Like, they would stop existing. No, I mean, they would literally stop existing. Like you've got your one thing. There's an animation that has to play. The thing has to open, the tank comes out, the thing closes. But during that animation, another tank is produced, which doesn't actually come out. And then the third tank comes out, but not the fourth, and so forth and so on. I mean, it's a bug. There's the ability to convert buildings. Yeah, that's what I thought was happening originally, too. But I did a few tests on it back in the day. And no, they just stopped existing, like I said. I think the game just didn't know what to do. When it's like, hey, unit completed, complete animation. But the animation was in progress, so it was like, skip to end?
Alama.
If you've heard of skip cutscenes, we've got skip animations. Hey, Pika. I hope you've been enjoying it. I love this. We have 11 people on food production. And we don't have enough food. Ain't that always the way? Let's see. So that's 610? Yeah, okay. So we'll wait until we have 610. This is from World of Final Fantasy. I don't remember the context of the scene or music, to be quite honest with you. That's what it's from. My opinion on the Xbox situation. Too complicated to summarize, Pika. There's too much going on there to just put into a sentence. I can put into a word. What's the word of the day, kids? Bad. I was chatting about it with Dean Badine last night, and it's funny how much Xbox, that is to say Microsoft Gaming, has so much going for them, and so many of the cards in their hand, and so many advantages, and they've just been spewing it away as fast and hard as possible. Guys. What are you doing? Stop. Do we not have a market? Oh, we do have a market, okay. Do we have... Yeah, we have that. I guess that's it? However, go back to harvesting lumber. So here's our population cap army. 2 squads of cavalry. Let's see what we can do with them. Let's switch this up so I can see the enemy a little bit easier. So this is a weird mission, because so far Red has done absolutely nothing. To the point where I'm suspicious. Like, what the hell is Red doing? I've been completely unharassed this entire time, which, by the way, I'm fine with, for reference. Okay, so Red has brought some very elite units. Oh my god. Yeah, Legions and Cataphracts. That's highest tier units. So he is chewing through my cavalry like they weren't even there. Holy god. And, alright, so that's not great. Why is that happening? Am I just... I mean, I get that I'm slaves, but is that it? Like, can I not improve my cavalry anymore? Is that what this is? That's probably exactly what it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. We're just stuck with cavalry. That's okay, well. Egg on my face. Yeah, we need more slaves, guys. Or... So anyways, you were slaves. Because I can predict the entire rest of the map right now. I sent up some cavalry. Yeah, there's tons of resources. So I'm not going to run dry. There's another resource node over here, there's one over here, there's one down here. I'm not going to run dry on resources. It's like, oh, I've got this. But yeah, I'd send up some troops, do some damage, send up some more troops, do some more damage. I just have this non-stop wave of death going up because, thanks to the population cap, I can only send 2 squads up at a time. This is a admittedly massive army that Mr. Red's fielding here. As is his wont. I mean, Roman soldiers have probably never had good pastry, so I believe it. Are we done? Ah, kill-alls. Truly the bane of existence. Still something I'm missing somewhere. No, Act. I have not. If they surpass Britain's level, then that's pretty impressive. Hey! We did it!
Against all odds, you defeated the Roman legions and ordered Crassus, Rome's richest man, flogged. With Rome's large slave population now in open revolt, the city itself will fall to your army. You have not only won freedom for yourself, Spartacus, but for tens of thousands.
What was the fate of Spartacus again? Remind me.
The Emperor Valerian lies captive in a Persian dungeon following his defeat at Edessa. His son and successor Gallienus faces revolts in Egypt and Gaul. The empire is in turmoil, and the Persian horde continues its westward march, nearing your client kingdom of Palmyra. The emperor is entrusting you, Odenathus, king of Palmyra, to serve Rome by defeating the Persian host. Drive the Persians from Syria, and take our war to their cities, and you will be acclaimed Imperator Orientis, commander of the East.
So, okay. We failed!
Your failure to drive the Persians back has added to Rome's frontier problems. Most of the eastern part of the empire is now open to further Persian raids and conquest. Though your title as Imperator Orientis has been revoked, take heart. The Emperor has bestowed a new title upon you, Nauseus Maximus.
Yes! Best title ever. Okay, so I can see the future here. Watch this, watch this. So here's our main enemy base we have to knock over. There's a harasser base. Oh wow, is there not a second harasser base? Oh my god, there's only one harasser base. I'm actually shocked. I really am. That's shocking. I don't know if I'd call it game design. Hi, Elizar. Oh. To my knowledge, there's nothing Nordic in this one. No. I'm not. This is a kill-all. Because of course it is. Kill-alls are love, kill-alls are life. Thank you for the sub, Ross. And I suppose you know the question. We have resource nodes all over the place, too. This is a weird map. Look at this. That just makes them hard to defend, though. Loading, loading, loading. Those files loading. 13 sentinels. 3 houses. And Echo 2. The nightmare. That's actually a text document, Moog.
Correctus.
Just right, keep track of that. The spreadsheet takes about 2 minutes on average to load. See, our initial spot has almost no resources, like 3 gold things, 2 stone, and a smattering of wood. But, like, then they give us golden stone here, and then golden stone here, and then plenty of food up here, and also golden stone here, and here, and here, and up here. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm looking at the map here for a second. So there's one crossing right there. And then here's the other crossing. We could literally just plug those two holes and completely lock them in. Oh, this is such a great game. Speaking of which, I feel like I've done y'all the disservice. Because while the Car Brigade is amazing, and it is the best, to be very, very clear, there are other things than the Car Brigade. It's not working. Nope. Okay. Let's try this. Alright, so we now have the Tree Brigade, as you can see here. This is the Tree Brigade. You see, because they're stealth archers. So they, you know.
Somus. Ibortade. Tabadaket. Rutgit. Blarabus.
What's funny is stealth archers actually aren't all that great, other than the stealth thing. But they can do something kind of neat, which I'll show off in a second. In
Ibortade.
the total silence.
Ike. Blarabus.
They can walk on water. And they look weird when they're shooting, because they do this. But, you know... It might not work. Oh, because they're not villagers.
Oklahoma?
These are villagers. Oh, there we go.
Alamos.
So let's go ahead and send our army of villagers after the enemy here. Take a moment.
Tabadaket. Somus. Ibortade. Ike. Blarabus. Ibortade. Tabadaket.
Donna E. Alamos. Rogan?
Go already? Jesus. We're crossing the entire desert. Give us a break. Alright, fine. Let's go. I'll give you a desert playlist just to motivate you. So these turn into Dark Riders when they die. For some reason. Dark Riders turn into Big Berthas when they die. I don't know. Don't ask me. Let's see what else we got. Is he not here? Shoot. I mean, it's a ghost. By definition, ghosts are things that are attached to, you know, whatever business they have left behind. Whether it's a location or a concept or a person or whatever. So that's the answer. Resolve that. Do these not work in this version? They should. Oh, there it is. Hey. Cereal is a soup, damn it! So these are the Zug 2009s. Very deliberate Warcraft 2 reference. These are actually even more overpowered than the Car Brigade, by the way. Because these don't do AoE damage, which is actually in their favor. This is just Galactic Battlegrounds at this point. Let's do this.
Word of your success has reached the Emperor Gallienus. He is most pleased with his Palmyran allies and confers great titles upon you. Enjoy the spoils of victory, Odenathus, and the company of your young sons and beautiful wife Zenobia, as the triumphs of ambitious men like yourself are often fleeting.
Thanks. What a dick. Oops, no, Alright, this is it. The final campaign, everyone. Let's do this.
Your command in Sicily has been uneventful, save for a roving band of rebellious mercenaries who had pillaged much of the island and angered the tyrant of Syracuse. Carthage's ruling council sees this as an opportunity to expand Carthage's influence, but a strange Italian backwater town has intervened in these affairs. The soldiers from this town call themselves Romans, and they march on your positions. By the grace of Baal Hammon, king of the gods, deal with these Roman upstarts.
What's a Roman? It just sounds weird. Okay, so before we go any further, let's see what we're up against. Harasser base. Oh, never mind. It's just two harasser bases, but no slog base. Oh my god. They're really mixing up the formula now. Okay, real talk. This is not a bad answer to the harasser problem. Check this out. Do you see this? This is a resource island. There are no land routes to this island. So you can just freely farm and grab stone and gold and lumber and not have to worry about your production line back here, which is where the enemy's probably going to be going for. It's an interesting approach to that. But then we lost.
Your failure to defeat these interlopers from a minor backwater town has lost the key island of Sicily to our enemies. Our colonies and trade routes to the west are now in great danger. Report to fleet headquarters for duty as a rowing bench.
As a bench? Okay. Sure, Eleazar. What is a ghost? An evil spirit. Okay. No. So a ghost is a form of a lost soul or a fragment, an echo of a lost soul, depending on the setting, that is stuck somewhere because it has unfinished business. So they died badly, or they're worried about their friends, or they're possessive of their location, or of their locket, or whatever. That's why a ghost haunts a specific spot and doesn't roam, right? I mean, I guess they can roam if the object of their obsession roams, but that's the point. A ghost is all about fixative obsession on a specific thing. You resolve the thing, you're good. That's it. There's your answer. Boom, done. Let me think about this. I'm gonna do something weird. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Though you defeated them, these Romans have impressed you with their fighting skill and tenacity. They are respectable fighters on dry land, but as Sicily is an island, only naval mastery can assure victory. Fortunately, Carthage still dominates the sea.
Alright, yeah, thank God Carthage is totally dominant. No one would ever question Carthage's dominance.
The Romans have not ceased their meddling. More disturbingly, they have studied one of your wrecked warships and are using it as a model to build an entire fleet.
What?
These ships will allow them to protect their supply lines from Italy, keeping their armies in Sicily equipped and reinforced. The first of these new vessels are nearing your positions off the coast of Mylae. To demonstrate the futility of challenging Carthage at sea, capture the Roman supply carts and bring them back to your base. May Baal Haman guide you. The Romans have not ceased their... The Romans have not ceased...
Yeah, the Romans not ceasing. God. Okay, so there's the enemy base. Nothing else over there. Oh, that's interesting. But where's... Am I blind? I mean, I am blind, obviously. I just see the one. There's got to be one at yellow, too, somewhere. Like, logically, right? There it is. I see it. It's over there by the tower. Okay, so knock over yellow and knock over red is the answer to this mission. But then we lost. Yeah.
The failure of the Carthaginian forces under your command has undone our recent victories over Rome. The people of Sicily now send tribute to Rome, not Carthage. The captain of your ship has been ordered to throw you overboard so that you can swim home through shark-infested waters to receive new orders.
I mean, okay.
Your victory has reminded the Romans that Carthage rules the waves. Despite their defeat, however, the Romans remain undaunted and have continued to work on building their fleet. With the speed with which they have already replaced their losses, you worry that even Carthaginian shores will soon be threatened.
Look, I'm just trying to slim down, okay? I hear that swimming is the best form of exercise.
Frustrated by your victories in Sicily, the Romans have sent the general Regulus to attack our homeland in Africa. His army now threatens the city of Carthage, while the Roman navy approaches to blockade our ports. You must defend Carthage from these attacks and turn the tides of the battle. May Baal Haman protect us and grant us victory.
This is a destroy wonder, build wonder mission. Oh, that's a start. The third Punic War, oh my god. So what do we got? What do we got? Nothing much up there. Weird setup over here. This is less defended than it looks, actually. It's mostly got those forces inside their walls. But it is a destroy a wonder, build a wonder mission, so that just sounds like a time waster to me. So,
Your failure to defeat the Roman army has forced us to accept their peace terms, which are harsh. Take note of the treaty clause requiring that you serve out your years in a Roman stone quarry. You have snatched victory from near defeat. The Roman army has been crushed, and Regulus sits in chains in your tent. Word has come that the fleeing survivors of the Roman fleet were caught in a storm and found their graves at the bottom of the sea. While your stunning victory has saved Carthage, you know that the Romans will never surrender. You fear that you have only delayed their eventual triumph.
I was gonna say, why are we playing as Carthage in the First Punic War? Alright.
The Romans have...
Let's try doing one of these. One of these, legit. Good time to get your guesses in, because we're gonna call this the last mission.
Somus.
So get your guesses in if you haven't.
Alamas. Alamas. Somus. Somus.
I love how they start us with slingshot, guys. Like, really? This is what you're starting me with? It's just nonsense. In fact, do we have access to... We do. We haven't done archers in a while. Let's do archers.
Alamas. Somus.
Hey, push-ups.
Alamas.
Welcome back to hell! Or, sorry.
Yuri. Alamas. Ibortade. Ibortade. Alama. Alama. Somus. Alama.
While you're doing that.
Alama. 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 Umbis. Umbis.
6, 40, 4, 48.
Umbis.
That's another thing. Houses give 4 food. The pop cap is 50. Did no one think about that for more than 5 seconds? Like, really, that feels like a strange oversight. Like, it's not the end of the world, it's just... Guys? Did you not think about what this meant? I probably didn't.
Alama. Alamas. Umbis.
Dang it. So I have $10 million. So that's not a lot of money. I have a team of 500 programmers. Okay, that's way too many. Thought like a factor of 10.
Alamos.
I have a nightmare is what I have. I immediately fire like 400 of those people. Maybe 450. Maybe 475. You're fired. Go home. I'm sorry, whoever told you had this job. They were insane.
Alamos. Hombres.
I actually have no idea what kind of numbers Blizzard employs at this point. That's right, I need $1 billion. That's what I really need, everyone. I need $1 billion.
Alamos.
Anyways, let's ignore your numbers, Elizar. Let's instead focus on the core of your question. So, I have a company. My goal. Listen, Henson, no, I didn't hire you. It's not my fault. Come on, guys. Not cool. Anyways, okay, so my job is to make a game and make $100 million, and I have 1 month. So is it possible to make a game in that short of time? No. Not a game that's going to make $100 million. Not a game that's even going to be anything more than the most bare bones of functional. When I say bare bones of functional, whatever you're picturing in your head is too much for what I'm describing.
Oklema. Hombres.
Like, you're out of your goddamn mind. Some of the most rushed games in history. Yeah, you can make a game that displays text on the screen that says, "Hello World." Yeah, I suppose we can make some more mobile garbage. We can make an AI-generated game. Why are you trying to make an AI-generated game, Elizar? Are you pure evil? Admit it. Confess!
Hombres. Hombres. Alamos.
Yeah, let me tell you something that Amazon didn't understand. So, money's nice, right? You know, money can help. But money doesn't like magically guarantee victory. This is not a board game. This is not linear arithmetic, where if you actually have... Let me break this down. Some people, and they are very stupid people, think that if you... think that it's a linear equation, that production lines are linear equations. What I mean by that is, okay, I have 5 programmers, and they're making a game. It takes them about 2 years to make that game and polish it and get it out there. So if I have 10 programmers, it'll take me 1 year. And if I have 20 programmers, it'll take me 6 months. This is perfect. It doesn't work that way. It's the same thing with money. If I have a budget of, say, I don't know, give me a sec to actually think about the real number there. $500,000, okay? So I have a budget of $500,000 and 25 programmers and 2 years. There we go. So there's my budget. There's my time frame. There's my programmers. So if I just have another $500,000, clearly we'll be able to speed up the production line. It doesn't work that way. It's not linear. Let me let you in on a little tip. Every additional worker that's actually working on a production line, as in not people working on marketing, not people working on the public relations side of things, not people working on customer support, just the people actually developing the game itself, which is a fairly large group of people, many of which do not include programmers. For every additional person there, you have like a weird pseudo-multiplicative factor of additional management that is required, because people need to coordinate with each other. Another hypothetical, because this has happened. Let's say I get 25 people, and I just sit them down and I say, go make a game. I'm like, okay. I'm not coordinating between them, right? Nobody's coordinating between them. So... They're just making whatever they want to. They're just programming whatever they want to on their own. They might talk with each other. You know, they're in the same office, right? Or maybe they're working from home. They might get on a Zoom call. So what are you working on? Oh, I was thinking of this. Oh, that might work. What you're going to get is a mess that probably doesn't work and probably requires additional programming time to make it work. Because let's say that Bob over there is working on the code that makes it so that enemies can recognize player units as existing. Okay? Now let's say that Jill over there, she's working on the code that then selects what the enemy decides to do based on their target, okay? These two people have not coordinated with each other, so they actually use completely different architecture when it comes to how they design this code. Which means one or the other is going to have to now put additional hours in to basically redo their code from scratch in order to then accommodate the other person's code. Yeah, you need coordination across teams. And you need time. If there's one universal constant that is required for anything creative, including programming and video game design in general, it is time. Oh yeah, then there's the middle manager over there who thinks he can screw over the team because he'll get a slightly bigger bonus if he does so. And then there's John from accounting, who for some reason has like dreams of becoming a manager. So he keeps screwing things over. It's so fun to try. In other words, the answer to your question is not applicable, Elizar. There's no amount, there's no answer that can be given to your question because your question has not given the resources necessary to answer the question. Wow, we're really landlocked here, aren't we? Then the court. No, we haven't got IPO yet, Loner, so we're good on that front. We weren't that stupid. No, we outsourced our marketing campaign to a company that themselves just uses AI-generated stuff. Well, no, Elizar, because once again, invalid information. For example, I can name multiple games off the top of my head which had a budget of 0, functionally speaking, and a development team of 1. Now, those took years, of course, and it was in their spare time as a hobby, but it still happened. That's how Ultima got started. And for more modern examples, we have Axiom Verge, Stardew Valley, and Undertale. And Vampire Survivors. And Minecraft. Almost out of lumber. Alright, let's fix that. Where's our best lumber spot? Let's put it over here. Nobody cares about FNAF. Are you seriously attacking my farm? Hollow Knight was what, 3 people? I want to say 4 people. It's a small team. I know it's a small team. How big it actually is. We do not have a lot of lumber. Well, yeah, like even Undertale had contributors. So did Stardew, for that matter. What do game companies usually go for when it comes to budget and time? So they don't? Is the simplest answer to that. There is no usually go to. There's no default. There's no standard here. Budgeting is something that most people don't know how to do at all. I can be blunt for a second. But it's mostly because there's so much that goes into it. You gotta sit down and think, okay, hold up. Oh, okay. Wow. I'll blame myself on that. I was getting too locked up in. Let's just give up forever. We're done. We're done forever. Moving on. Let's get on with this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And yeah, budgeting for WoW, you should never look at WoW as a standard for anything. Like, it's just... WoW is on a different level. And it has been for a very long time. I don't mean in terms of like, oh, they're super amazing. No, I mean like in terms of infrastructure. Hell, it was actually relatively recent, just about 2 years ago now, I want to say, that they had a massive overhaul under the hood in terms of management structure to try and smooth out coordinating between them. What did I say that sounded like that bullshit, Loner? Which it is, by the way. That's complete nonsense. We're pushing that particular argument. You shouldn't pick WoW as a template for anything. WoW is insane. Wow. That is a legitimate truth. That's... Yeah, WoW has hundreds of people working across multiple teams who themselves have people whose entire job it is to coordinate across them, because they have so many people working in so many things at the same time, and they need as much of it to stay coordinated as possible. Yeah, there will never be another WoW. What Larian did was they did their own thing with blackjack and hookers, and people were apparently down for blackjack and hookers. I mean, you can make Arcane right now, Lord Harriman, if you wanted to. You could. All you need is tens of millions of dollars and years of development time with no demands or pressure from up above. And no insistence on making your money back. Boom. You've made Arcane. Congrats. The template's easy. If you think about it. The answer is easy. Good luck. Andor's in the same exact boat. Really. So I hope you guys like anime girls, right? Do you like anime girls? Because behold, anime girls. I don't know why this person has anime girls. I don't care. I don't care. But I'm not going to show you that yet, because that's only like a 3-minute video. Prestige, Lunarith. It's for the prestige. What usually happens, because I actually don't know in specifics when it comes to both Andor and Arcane. What usually happens is there's an executive somewhere, and that executive really wants something. Doesn't matter what it is, actually. They really, really want something. And that executive pushes for that and succeeds at battling the other executives in the company, and then gets what they want, and they make the thing in question, right? And that's how stuff like that tends to get made, is one person somewhere, somehow, really wanted that. Whatever that is. It obviously, I'm speaking very generically because this applies to games and movies and books and ad campaigns and theater plays and blah, 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 blah. There's just, it's a thing, right? Some asshole in a suit somewhere was like, this has to be a thing, and they pushed for it. And then this happened. Have some music. I'm going to type for a second. frankly, Star Trek qualifies, by the way. Not the original series. That was just kind of its own thing. No, I mean the Star Trek movies, especially Star Trek II and The Next Generation. And as a direct consequence, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise. All of those were because an asshole in a suit really wanted Trek to keep going. Good question, Loner. I'm not sure. Most of the other MMOs that are big right now started as MMOs, but then again, most of them started after WoW. I actually forget if it was EverQuest or Ultima Online, but one of them started as a MUD. And I don't remember which one it was. Sure, Eleazar, I'll tell you what a Hyper-Beam moment is. Lorerunner.com. Lorians. Hyper-Beam moment. There you go. There's a Hyper-Beam moment. I know Ultima was dipping its toes into the mud scene, but I don't remember specifics, to be really honest with you. Although Ultima's history is fascinating when you think about it. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes into Ultima's history. I have posited the theory before that Ultima's big mistake was they never developed. They never progressed. Each Ultima game, like, I don't want to say they didn't iterate, because obviously they did, but game design just left the Ultimas behind, you know what I mean? And so everything else was just kind of like, oh, let's take this and try something new with it. And Ultima's like, hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on, hang on. Oh, our company's going defunct, okay. I would like to also go out of my way to give most of my ire about that to Richard Garriott in particular. Because Garriott's an asshole. Put that as nicely as I possibly can. And he's the type of asshole who really, really loves the smell of his own farts. Even with turbo cheats, that was still a 27-hour game. Jeez Louise. Let's see. I decided after some thought we're going to not add any additional hours to it. We'll just consider us having cheated and leave it at that. I'm comfortable with that. It's not going to make that much of a difference anyways. And it'll probably lower the score. I'm okay with that too. Five negatives for controls. If that sounds like a lot, it's not the most negatives for controls we've given an RTS. That would belong to Iron Harvest. And with the advantage of hindsight, yeah, I would say this controls better than Iron Harvest. Which is pathetic. But it is specifically the remaster. The controls were brought up to -5. I actually already figured it out, Blade Javal. I was going to add 13 hours. Sure. I'll add 13 hours to it later. Which would put it about a 40-hour game. Something like that. That's presuming no resets, it's worth noting. No fail states. Oh, here, I guess I can actually show the speedrun now. Hang on a second. Pull this up. Anime girls. So this is what Age of Empires 1 speedruns look like.
Hune, Erectus. Hune, Ite, Blaribus, Erectus, Blaribus. Lucantar. Hune, Papadate, Hune, Blaribus, Hune, Ite, Hune, Blaribus, Hune, Blaribus, Thomas, Hune, Ite, Hune, Ite, Hune, Erectus, Ite, Hunes, Blaribus, Hunes,
Listen to this. But yeah, this is what the game looked like back in the day, by the way, in case you were wondering. Eat that up. Look at it. Look at its glory. Look at its beauty. Yep, sounds are a little different. And the visuals look like that. Werbus. Definitely Werbus. Well, you notice they say Erectus instead of Erectus. So that means someone somewhere said, no, that should be Erectus. And then and the voice actor turns to the director's like, you sure? The director's like, yeah. Say Erectus. But we need like 4 or 5 different takes of it. It's like, okay. Okay. That's his smile. He's in Erectus the entire time. Oh man, soak in those graphics. Soak them in.
Erictus. Erictus.
Oh yeah, I want to try this strat. Villager swarm. And mission complete. The anime girls led us to victory. So that's what Age of Empires speedrun looks like, which is why I'm only showing you one of those, because that's what all of them look like. I was looking at a few of these last time while I was doing some paperwork. There's not a lot of meat on those bones. Most older RTS strategies involve trying to not play the mission as much as possible. Erictus. Hey guys, how replayable do we think Age of Empires 1 is? Infinite replayability. You could do the same maps endlessly and forever. So you count as replayability. Well, the first replayability positive is general, a generally replayable game. The second is for the game doing something to encourage replayability, which it does not qualify. And the third is for having, some kind of mode built around constantly playing it, like a 4X game or a grand strategy game or a roguelike, which it does not. I have, Andrew. In fact, I've streamed it and done a review of it. Anyways, I'm being facetious. No replayability positives, obviously. I was just trying to be funny, guys. And you're all like, well, I don't know. Let's see. Carry the 2. Hang on, I pull up the ruler and I start doing some measurements, And I'm like, no, guys, I wasn't. Okay, never mind. I will stop trying to be funny immediately. You could try, Blatable. It's a thing that could be attempted. Anyways, I don't know if that was a real sub, but thank you off the deep end for the sub, assuming it was. I don't suppose you know what you want to put there towards, because you didn't say anything. But either way, thank you. Empress 2. World. And Dead Rising. 1R. Alright. Who won the guessing game? Huh, okay. Time before I forget. So, this sure has been a game. I'll be honest, this has been a absolutely miserable experience, and I kind of hate the time I've spent playing this game. But I blame almost all of that on how honestly long it is. I legitimately think if the game was a much shorter, it would be much less painful. Wait. Oh, never mind. Or if it had been a bigger pop cap, or... God, I don't know, like a dozen other things they could have done to fix it, which they didn't do. Yeah, more mission design, more actual... It's not like they didn't have mission design. This game got 10 mission positives. I was shocked at how many that was. Like, that is way more than I was expecting, too. One moment, please. So, no, it's not a great ratio. It's just, it's weird, honestly. That, I still think that would be too much, to be quite honest with you, Optifriend. But I think if you just ripped out entire campaigns, the game would suddenly become much better. I said it yesterday, but to repeat myself, for those of you who only approach the end here. The problem, this is not a good song for this, sorry. I like this song, but this is not a good song for this. I don't know, I'm blanking on a good song to pull up. You know what? Here. I don't want to pull up. There, okay. So for those of you only joining me at the end, as I know so many of you do, I said this yesterday. This game, the biggest problem with this game, it is a capital P problem because it's several things that kind of dovetail into each other. You are very limited in your population size, which means you're very limited in your your unit composition, your army composition. The entire time the enemy is attacking you and harassing you because of how the AI is designed and because of how just like the AI cheats. Like in addition to the design, it is also cheating. On top of all of those points, the static defenses are next to worthless and extremely expensive in terms of stone, which is almost always one of the rarest resources in any given map. And there's no way to get stone that does not involve mining into the game. So, what you have is a situation where you have to dedicate some of your forces to defense while building up some kind of an offensive force, while trying to limit the enemy's ability to harass you, while trying to keep your villagers alive because they're constantly targeting them, while constantly trying to tech up, which is taking an enormous amount of resources, which you're losing because of the aforementioned problems. And and you're doing all of this while playing functionally the same side over and over and over. On top of this, an entire swath of your units, the infantry, are all crap. And even if you don't consider the infantry crap, think about this for a second. You've got your basic melee, you've got your guy with sword, and you've got your slinger. That's it. That's your infantry. 3 unit types. For your cavalry, you've got your scout, who never upgrades and is completely worthless for anything other than being a vision person. So that barely counts. You've got your chariots, which are glass cannons at best. You've got your cavalry, which are great. And then you've got your cavalry with which archers, which you don't always have access to. If you're really lucky, you'll have elephants, but none of these campaigns really gave us much in the way of elephants, except for a few very specific ones. On the archery side, you have the archer and the better archer. This is basically it. Now, you usually have access to something else in terms of artillery, like you usually have the stone flinger, and occasionally you have the ballista. The ballista is actually overpowered as hell, admittedly, but we almost never have access to it. Also true off the deeper end. Thank you for pointing that out. So that's something I was getting into. So you have limited units. Some of your units are legitimately, objectively not very good. Your units take very specific resources, which you almost always are low on, which you're also using for defense, while the enemy is perfectly attacking you. And you're always playing the same side, so you're doing the same looped treadmill constantly on every single map, unless you're doing one of the cool maps. And there are cool maps. Like I said, there's 10 level positive, which is way more than I was expecting. And there's a few neutral maps as well. But for the most part, the bog standard map just involves building up one relatively small force, and then having to sweep. Because if you don't sweep, the enemy will just rebuild from scratch. As long as they have even one villager left, they can and will rebuild their entire base, and they will do so quickly. All of that makes for a ponderous experience. I hesitate to even call this game bad. In fact, the actual score is not that low, because it's not that bad in the traditional sense of the word. Most of the bad comes from the fact that it's just a slog. It is just a non-stop slog. I don't know how to describe how I felt in the last few days. It's a unique feeling for me. It feels like my brain doesn't function anymore. Like, it's not like being tired. It's like I can't get my brain into gear because of how difficult it's been to do anything other than just kind of constantly slowly move my way through gravel which has been glued together. And if at any point in time I stop moving forward, I lose all progress and go back to the beginning. If this game didn't have cheats, I would have outright vetoed this. This is insane. And yeah, I kept putting it down to easy. Yeah, this is Factory Worker Syndrome, and I did give it Factory Worker Syndrome negatives. This is just, yeah, no, this is a 9 to 5 that I hate, which is something I'm sure a lot of us have experienced in our real lives, because I have been there myself many times. I should say for most of my life, really. I didn't get this job till like 15 years ago. Or 13 years ago, excuse me. So, +9 to story. Almost all of that is just historical flavor and stuff. There's some good stuff. The sprites are actually really good in this version. And I like the fail state stuff. And I like the little maps. And I like the little historical backgroundy stuff. It's all cool. And that's in the game, and it gets positives for that. That's a third of a story plus per hour, and a ratio of 100%, because there was no other story to speak of to get negatives for. Gameplay is -50. That's the second worst gameplay we've ever given RTS, and it's only surpassed by the absolute juggernaut that is the Age of Sigmar. God, Age of Sigmar was so bad. That is almost 2 negatives per hour. And that's a ratio of 21%. Giving us a final golden number of... Can I get a drum roll, please? Yeah, that's right. Age of Sigmar and Age of Empires 1 are our worst RTSs right now. Negative, I know, shocking. 100, I know that's shocking too. 19.96. That's, yeah, I'm never touching this game again. I've still got the manual. I'll still read the manual in the future. It's a cool manual. I'm never touching this game again. The winner of that is Philisondus, who put this towards Command & Conquer 1R, which I've already written down, Xenosaga, which I've written down, and Warcraft 1, which is already funded? So if you happen to see this in the VODs, Philisondus, please pick something else. I am mentally exhausted. No, I'm not going to give it the garbage tag. This is... A lot of people think this is bad. This is bad. This isn't garbage. This is first game. This is a clear-cut example of a first game. These people did not know what they were doing. And it shows. I honestly think that, with the advantage of hindsight, pretty much the only reason this took off at all was because of the fact that it had the non-fantasy, non-sci-fi bent to it. Like I said at the very beginning, it was what caught people's eye, and that second E3 ever was that, oh my god, it's an RTS, but it's historical. Whoa. And yeah, multiplayer is whatever. Multiplayer always figures into these kind of things. Whoops. I don't know if I'm going to do a second stream today, and that's just me being honest. That is the goal, is to do a second stream today, but like, I'm brain dead. I might just straight lie down. I'm not sure. Either way, see y'all in a bit.